The bowling performance that RCB had been looking for all season finally came today, on a day that they were playing a do-or-die game against the Mumbai Indians, and boy, these boys really stepped up and delivered. I'm Gaurav Kapur on Cricbuzz Live. I will also try to stand up and I'll sit down and deliver. I have Zaheer Khan Joy Bhattacharjya here with me. Zaheer is also used to standing up and delivering, but now he sits and delivers as well. But talking about the bowling, Zach, this is a super impressive bowling effort by RCB.
We spoke about the intent. I think that was very, very evident and visible. I think the want to do well and sticking to the processes was the key. And Saudi provided that spark. I think that first wicket of Ishan Kishan really set the tone. They were using the lengths well. I think there was simplicity in terms of planning.
Nice.
And execution was spot on. We've seen with the Sunrisers Hyderabad that they've been keeping the plans simple, going in with a simple plans and clear thought process. The execution then becomes flawless. And I think that's something which was very, very evident from RCB today. I think the intent, the intensity was created by the bowlers, and then the fielding just kind of supports.
The run out.
Yeah, the key.
Umesh loves getting run out, doesn't he?
He's a great athlete. I think his ability in the outfield is a fantastic runner, and overall I think because he's bowling well, that kind of lifts you up overall. I think in your game. So that's something which is going to be the key. And I think you look at the intent of all the bowlers. I think that was very, very kind of standing apart point. I think it was needed for RCB. They kind of wrapped up the game by creating that pressure situation of taking 3 wickets. Then after that it was always going to be a catch-up game. I felt that 16-over mark, the game was nicely set up.
So here's what you had said. You had said with 4 overs left, if it's between 40 and 50 to win, MI would feel that they're in a good position. But here as well, when we were watching the game, Zach said, see, it's come down to under 50, but too few wickets in hand.
Exactly. I think they lost. The key is Pollard not firing. I think this season. That's something which is hampering Mumbai quite a lot, because they've been relying on him in terms of getting the games out of those situations, and particularly when Rohit Sharma has not fired, they needed someone to step up. I think JP Duminy showed those kind of signs, but Pollard needed to capitalize, and he's just somehow not looking in form. I think his footwork is not there. You saw him getting out, just kind of chasing the ball down to the slip cordon. Which is something which shows that his footwork is not there. He's not getting in good positions, and that's he need to figure out quickly. I think he had the opportunity today. I think
it's perfectly set up,
which was I think came earlier than what he expected. He should have capitalized on that, but today was not his day.
Joy, there is no taking away from the fact that Pollard's an IPL legend. He's an MI legend. His age, we just checked online, says that he's 30.
That's
Is he from Punjab?
That's Punjab, Pakistan 30. PP 30.
PP 30 है ये. तो 6-7 साल जोड़ लो इस 30 में. But the fact is, the other truth also is that this IPL, we are seeing a shadow of that Pollard.
True. I just want to go back. The other interesting thing about this bowling effort by RCB is the spinners didn't get wickets. On a pitch which actually favored spinners, and Chahal bowled well, but sometimes he just spun the ball too much, and they saw Chahal. Chahal didn't get them wickets. Washington Sundar wasn't useful. He just went for 1 over, and Hardik Pandya went after him, and they couldn't.
Can I just, Joy, take your attention to the dot balls? 14 dot balls by Chahal, 14 dot balls by Saudi. Gold when you're defending 167.
I think in that situation, Chahal did the job.
No, he did very well.
The wickets were taken up front. So once we create that kind of scenario up front in the middle overs, even if you don't pick up wickets, and also intent from Mumbai batsmen at that time was to save wickets. So they were not taking many risks. If they had wickets in hand, they would have tried to put pressure on Chahal. But today was not going to be those kind of days, because 3 wickets when you lose up front, you always as a batting unit looking to build that partnership, seeing that phase through, and kind of stacking the game up in such a way that last 4 overs they required 45.
No, absolutely, I agree. My thing was that if you see, there were about 10 to 11 overs of spin bowled by Mumbai on a pitch that favoured spin. Really, these guys had 2 spinners. They didn't even have a luxury of a 3rd spinner. They bowled 5 overs of spin. That's all they had because Sundar got hit, didn't bowl. So really, their fast men did the job, and that's also amazing.
And the great thing with Saudi is, remember we were talking about that there's lack of variation of pace. That's that little off cutter almost that got Hardik out, right? There was just no pace on the ball. He just couldn't hit it anywhere. The guy was on 50. He was well set. And if that would have gone, well, you never know. But Saudi turned out to be absolute gold. Bowled 14 dot balls again out of his 24 on a Chinnaswamy pitch that actually was favouring spin. Let's have a look at the summary. Yes, Joy.
No, I'm just saying Saudi will play well in Bangalore and Chennai.
No, you can't use my bad joke back against me and expect praise. No, you can't.
Sorry. Just had to do
He's a Saudi. See, this is the problem. When an intellectual says it, people go, wow. If I would have said it, they said street humour. Anyway, let's have a look at the summary of the game. Remember, it was Rohit Sharma who won the toss and told Virat that they had to go bat first. They got to 167. Now, when you look at that last over that Grandhome played, 24 runs. What a game changer that has been, Joy. They were looking like they'll fall short of 150. Suddenly, he takes them to 167. And what do you know? Bob's your uncle.
14 runs. That and there was a fantastic save in the boundary, if you remember.
Yeah.
When the ball
and the 3 overs which he bowled. I think he had an overall good impact on the game. I think Grandhome, when you look at it, scored those valuable runs. When Washington Sundar went for those runs, Virat threw the ball to Grandhome, and I think he responded beautifully. Yes, last over he went for few, but I think that's the way game goes. But at that point of time in the game situation, Virat needed someone to just step up, and I think Grandhome did the job for him, and that's why we keep talking about having that 6th bowling option in the side is very crucial, because if someone has an off day like which Washington Sundar had today, and it's purely because of the situation of the game. Hardik Pandya was batting there. It was always going to be difficult. He's a great player of spin, and at that point it was just perfect. He would have taken him on. In that particular situation, if he had bowled 2nd overs, the situation of the game would have changed. So that particular time, I think Virat made some sensible calls today on the field, which really set the game up well for RCB.
There was Hardik Pandya, of course, sort of the lone warrior for Mumbai Indians, with the bat, with the ball in the field. He bowled his 3 overs for 28 and got 3 wickets. Actually, he was expensive. Remember that the first over that he bowled went for 20. So that means he's bowled 2 overs for 8 runs after that and taken 3 wickets. Brilliant comeback for a bowler. A bowler who's not been having a very good IPL. A player who's not been having a very good IPL. Then responded with a bat as well. Got his half century of 42 balls. Of course, he could have used a lot more help.
I see this match as a tale of 2 18th overs.
Yeah.
Their 18th over, Hardik Pandya took 3 wickets, and I think they gave away only a single run.
2 runs.
Really restricted them, and then they had needed some magic in the last 2 balls. This 18th over, remember, there were 35 in 3 overs is not a bad target to chase. Suddenly it became 30 in 2. That's what changed it. The 18th over of Saudi, that 5-run over was the game changer. Because 35 of 3, you look at these 2 guys, Hardik playing, both of them reasonably set. You'd say, boss, एक लग गया ना 1-6, 1-4, it's over.
By the way, I have to admit also, see, we celebrate when we get calls right. We also admit when we get them slightly wrong, even if you haven't seen them. When we were sitting there, we all said 17th and 19th should be Saudi, right? We all thought 17th and 19th should be Saudi. They went with 18th to Saudi, and that turned out to be a game-changing over, right? See, फिर बाद में मत बोलना, we are not honest. We are very honest. जब चोरी नहीं भी पकड़ी जाती तो हम पकड़वा देते हैं, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं. So of course it was Hardik. We'll just have a look at the summary scorecard again, because we want to point out a few things. There was a Brendan McCullum innings that was fantastic. Now remember, he came at number 3 over here, not at his usual opening position. He didn't play a single ball in the power play, yet he got to 37 or 25. That he got unfortunately run out at that point in time. Otherwise he was looking in ominous form. Good for them to have Manan Vora batting good at the top of the innings as well, getting 45-31. Now, they've got Grandhome to fill in that all-round option. He's done that well. But again, I foresee a problem in the next RCB game is who are they opening with? Because de Kock did get a little stuck today. So who are they opening with now next time?
They'll continue with the same opening.
No, but because AB will come back, right? So AB comes back.
So I think when
so AB comes from McCullum?
I think so.
Wow, so not for Quinton. Interesting, because then you'll have to.
They don't have other choice, because Quinton de Kock is going to keep.
Yeah.
So you cannot let go of him.
Yeah.
So you have to have someone who is replacing in the middle order.
And today that
Virat will come at number 3.
The Rohit dismissal caught Quinton, bowled Umesh. That wicket is as much Quinton's as it is Umesh's, right?
Yeah.
Not only the catch, but also he said we have to
take the review.
Adamant to review it.
Yeah, he went for the review. But see, you can do one more thing. You can take Parthiv. Okay, you can take Parthiv in, replace Washington Sundar with him. Okay, then do the AB swap.
Yeah.
For de Kock. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got
brings too many changes. So that's
two changes. Two changes, but then you're bowling with only 5 overs. You're counting Grandhome as a full bowler then.
You'll have to count Grandhome as a full bowler, because my problem is that in this kind of form, I mean, AB also, I'll tell you one thing. You see Virat as a person, okay? He likes people like Brendan on the field, because Brendan is like, Virat. Stands up there, runs out there, gives his body. He likes that energy, and Virat is a very combative cricketer himself. He's modelled himself on players like Brendan. Yeah. So, he'll be very loath to drop him if he can find some way to keep him.
Here's the problem. Now they don't have a keeper, because if you play Parthiv on top, that means, and if you can't drop Manan after this innings, which means you're opening with Baz and Parthiv. You then play Manan at 3, Virat at 4, AB comes at 5, Mandeep comes at 6, Grandhome comes at 7.
Yeah, and also
then you have only 5 bowlers. So then they're a bowler shot.
Right, they're a bowler shot.
I tell you, the RCB 11 decision. I told you this. We're going to make a 3-hour movie after this about the RCB 11. It's just.
And it's so sad that we're having this discussion after they've won.
Yeah, I was just saying, because they've won without AB, and AB has to come into the next game. So it's almost like a problem of plenty that they're having right now. But then again, a problem of plenty is better than having a problem of bare cupboards. So that's what the story is. Well, okay, so let's see what has happened to the points table after today's game. Remember, both teams were on 2 and 5. That's 2 wins and 5 losses when this game started. RCB jumped up, and because of that, they are now in 5th position and properly challenging for a playoff spot. This IPL is absolute insanity. On one day, you're saying a team doesn't have an ice cube's chance in hell. On the other day, you're saying, wow, look at them, they're straight in the mix. For Mumbai Indians, along with Delhi Daredevils, 2 and 6, that is something from which recovery, Zach, is really looking very dismal for both Mumbai and Delhi.
Well, I think all the five teams have got a great chance. Kings 11 has got that cushion of
not 6. You're not counting Rajasthan in that, because Rajasthan still play one game. If they play one game and they win it, let's say
all the 5
they also become 3-5.
All the 5 teams have got good chance of turning things around. I think they will be fighting for that fourth spot. Because,
you're saying the 5 from the bottom.
Yeah,
sorry,
5 from the bottom.
Yeah.
So you have Delhi also still in the hunt. You have MI also still in the hunt. Rajasthan Royals, they have a game in hand, which is going to be crucial, I think, at this stage.
Yeah.
And Kings also has got a game in hand, so which is a plus for them. But I think overall, you need to get on winning momentum. So far you've seen that KKR also played against Delhi, lost the game, came to RCB and had a fantastic outing.
Yeah.
So Mumbai Indians also, last game they had a great outing, and now today's game, not so great. So these kind of things will happen. The pressure is going to play a huge role now going forward in the tournament, and I think next week is going to be an exciting one, because I think the team which is going to handle the pressure well is going to come on top. I think so these 5 teams have got a battle to fight, which is going to decide now on many levels. I think it's not only about cricket. I think it's going to go beyond cricket.
Absolutely.
In terms of strategy, mental strength, how in terms of the team management also, how they keep the morale of the team, how they create a scenario where yes, you're creating intensity, but you're not putting too much pressure on your players to kind of go out there and deliver, because at times in these kind of situation, your franchise itself can play a destructive role.
Yeah.
Just the pressure of expectation, just to go out there and do well. You can either build that pressure before the game starts, or you can ease off that pressure and just let your team go out there and express themselves well and just play the game and win matches.
How did KKR handle situations like this?
I think it always worked best when we looked at one match at a time, no pressure. The seasons we did well, there was no pressure on us, and there's always pressure on you. It's a lie, but how you handle it, exactly as he said. Ownership would stay away, or if the ownership even came, they just chat with the players, have fun with them and go away. There were no long soul-searching meetings going on, because by that time we knew, in that point of the season, that whether the team is doing right or wrong, this is the team, they know what they have to do.
Because 2014 KKR was in the same position as RCB, right?
It was 2 and 5.
3 and 5, I think. Then they won one and it became 3.
2 and 5, and then we won 9 in a row.
Oh, then you won 9 in a row. Yeah, there you go.
Look at the last game of KKR also. They stuck to the same combination. That's, yes, their squad is also limited and they don't have many options. But you still yeah. But you still have to keep with the same kind of. Yeah. You got to back the players and tell them that's one way of showing that it's fine. It'll come good. Like Shubman Gill has been playing and now he's showing those signs of what kind of player he is. I think he's certainly got the potential. He's figuring his game out around a different position which he's not used to batting, but he certainly has got that kind of potential.
I think good teams will take the pressure off them. Just now it will be process in terms of fitness. So they'll say, lot more physio, lot more training, lot more massages, lot more this thing, lot less bhashans, because that time is over now. Know reasonably kya ho raha hai team. Good teams will leave their players alone, leave their coaching staff alone and say, get on with the job now.
Yeah. Okay, so they'll be very happy. Zach will be very happy. Simon Dole is not here today, but he'll be very happy as well, because the man of the match has gone to a bowler. Tim Southee, deservedly so, has won the man of the match award today. So and completely deserves to be there. And again, Dooley, Zach, everybody was saying there is a Tim Southee when RCB's bowling was not doing well. Where is he? They had him nicely covered in cotton, cold storage, nicely kept. You bring him out and gives you a match-winning performance. Quick word on Mumbai Indians. How do they turn this around?
It's not going to be an easy one. I think when team is doing well and losing matches, that's when it's the most difficult job for team management to deal with. Yeah. I think when you are not doing well, you're out and out outplayed by the oppositions. You can dig in deep and come up with good performances. But when you're doing well, like even today, you're talking about playing the game well till the 19th over, last over going for runs. Yeah. There are like 4-5
fifth ball.
Yeah, 4-5 matches. Yeah. 19th over fifth ball. So 4-5 matches you'll talk about when they created winning momentum, they created winning situations, and then you're losing matches. In those kind of situations, it's very hard for team management to figure out, because you cannot go and tell players that you're not putting in your work. Yeah. They are doing everything right. It's just those certain situations they are not able to close down. Yeah. The key for them is to get Pollard in the right frame of mind. I think that's
but something. Does he make your team if Evan Lewis is fit again in the next match?
Well, I think
if he's available.
If Evan Lewis is not available, they have to back him. Yeah. They have to back him. They have to get him in the right frame of mind. And he's a kind of player who's been contributing well for MI. So he has to just kind of figure out his state mentally. I think more than anything, it's just mental, because he's not getting in the right zone when he's at the crease. And that's something which is very visible. As a bowler, I can see that his footwork is not there. Nice. And the reason his footwork is not there because his mind is not there. He has to get himself in the right frame of mind, where you have to clear the clutter of thoughts. Like he's looking like he's thinking too much. Like he doesn't have that clarity of thought when he's at the crease, which is unlike Pollard. Yeah. So you have to go back to basics and figure it out. Otherwise, it's just going to put too much pressure on the likes of Rohit Sharma.
So you're saying basically be like a fast bowler. Don't have too many thoughts. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing.
But if you look at it, Pollard is their only real failure. Everyone else has done something. Yeah. It's not that they've, in some games, and most of them have done reasonably well. Pollard is the only guy who's been consistently failing for them. And I tend to agree that don't get him to think. He's overthinking his game. He's clearly overthinking his game, and that's not. Some players are not good at overthinking their game.
But it's not like he needs to be empowered. He's supremely empowered by that franchise. It's not like it's ever been any doubt about his value. So it's not outside pressure. Sometimes a player can just go into a little spiral in their own
head. And also,
head.
He's getting caught in the wrong situations as well. Like, against Sunrisers Hyderabad also, he had plenty of time in the game. So then it becomes very crucial to get in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
Because when you're batting at the back end of the innings, the game is simplified for yourself.
Yeah,
you know that bowlers are going to probably bowl only 3 deliveries, which is slow one, Yorker, or a back of the length hard bouncer or something like that. So your batting becomes easier. You can expect things
Can bowlers sniff this though? Can bowlers sniff it when a batsman is seeming like he's not got his rhythm? Can you sniff it? You have a psychological advantage over that batsman.
Always, I think, yeah. Always.
He's calling it from the TV.
Yeah. So it's something which is very visible. I'm sure all the teams are taking note of this. So from MI's side, I think it's very important to give him the right kind of platform. I think just to get him in the right zone, you have to use him at the back end of the innings. Like today was the ideal scenario where Hardik was batting up the order. He could have actually batted up the order than Pollard's
position,
and keep Pollard for that last 4 overs which we are talking about, because in spite of losing wickets, they had that kind of platform. So at that stage, Ben Cutting and Pollard still to bat at that stage, with 45 runs to go in 4 overs is the ideal scenario. The pressure is back on the bowlers at that stage, and that's something which maybe will simplify things for Pollard.
It's such a fascinating psychological thought. That in 90% of cases, you tell people that get the batsman in early so he can settle in. What he's saying is true, but exactly the opposite. Don't get him in early and make him think too much. Get him late and let him play his
do your job. One gear.
Think. He's taken the normal concept and twisted it on his head, but that's exactly what Pollard needed to do. He needed to come in the 17th and say, I have nothing to think about. I have to tonk this out of the stadium. And probably he would have done well. Here he had to think, main 2 ball defend karu, then choose my... All this is basically cut in his head.
Such an interesting point. Love it. Don't you just love it? Okay, we've got a game tomorrow as well, of course. No, today. Sorry, later today. This happens every night. The game later today. This is Delhi and Rajasthan. So Delhi Daredevils are playing the Rajasthan Royals at Firoz Shah Kotla. Let's quickly take you into the Delhi Daredevils' last 11. It's been impressive actually. Even yesterday's game that they played against Chennai, that was not a bad effort, Zach. I mean, to think about it, they got much closer than people thought they would.
Yeah, right? And I think Vijay Shankar's knock was very positive. The fact
Vijay Shankar, Hamara. We wanted to see him,
and the fact that he was bowling also. I think that's the key, because he's been bowling regularly at the for the Indian team. So it's very important that the team management shows that kind of confidence in him. Amit Mishra was also looking good.
Any changes in this team for you in Kotla tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think
Shahbaz Nadeem maybe instead of Rahul Tewari. So only logical.
Yeah, that's the only option I think they can think of.
All season.
And Rajasthan Royals have got a lot of right-handers as well. So that's something they can go for in terms of a change. Apart from that, the squad is looking balanced, because they've put in good 2 back-to-back performances. One they managed to land on the successful side, one they failed. But I think overall the team is looking good. I think Rishabh Pant was also batting really well. Prithvi Shaw is looking good at the top. He needs to just kind of be a little more selective in terms of
tell Prithvi that Prithvi was compensating maybe for somebody like a Gautam Gambhir playing at the other side. She was going for it. If you now have a Colin Munro on the other side, he doesn't need to hit every ball now.
Ek do dot khel le beta, koi baat nahi.
Correct. If you see, that's exactly what happened. Here again, see, first match they must have told him, you go, don't worry, play your free game, hit everything. Okay, and they would have thought also that Gautam will take it easy in the beginning. Gautam's not there. Munro is going to hit as well. So you just exercise a bit more, as they said, discretion. You choose your shots.
And say, tell Prithvi ke thoda Prithvi pe bhi khel lo. ठीक है?
Well done. That is a good one.
Thank you. Saturday time हवाई bomb मारने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Rajasthan Royals. Let's have a look at their 11 as well. And from there, this is against SRH, that game that they played the other day. And Joy, any changes for you? Zach, any changes for you that you would like to make to this 11? You foresee them making?
I mean, they played Lomror. He did nothing for me. As I said, if you're batting him that late, it's not as if that he's not bowling for you. He's not that much of a batsman who's giving you anywhere that much up front. So I'm wondering how they're using him and whether if they're using him, they're using him in the right place or not.
But they're not going to drop him after one game. That would be unfair as well, right?
I think this was a tactical move, so I'm
you never know.
I never know, because
Zach,
the rest, there's nothing else you can do.
Zach, they really need more out of their international players, especially Ben Stokes and Josh Butler. Actually, the two of them, because they got enough out of Archer and Sodhi. Ben Stokes and Josh Butler.
Well, don't be surprised if you see Josh Butler opening the innings with Ajinkya Rahane. I think that's something which they might go back to Rahul Tripathi coming back down the order, or he might not be playing the game. So you never know about that. But Josh Butler, I think they need to split those two. I think Ben Stokes and Josh Butler, they can't be batting together. I think
they need to split those two. I remember my mom and dad used to say that about a lot of my mischievous friends as well. The parents used to discuss, you got to split these two. They're trouble together. See, like you and Ashish Nehra, trouble together.
But this actually happens in teams. There are times when you say that these two players, don't have them together because he will just eat his head and he will teach him the wrong kind of things. Keep him away from that guy. You often do it.
Also, what's going to happen is teams are going to identify that, and then they will get their slow bowlers in at that stage. So that gives you liberty to use your bowlers, which you're not confident of bowling in the death overs, and that foreign players are susceptible to spin. So you can use your spin options and you can use them later in the innings as well. So that's something which becomes easier for the opponent captain to figure out. But if Josh Butler is batting up the order and you have the power of Ben Stokes down the order, then you can still create that kind of scenario where you can get to a decent total.
Amazing.
I think somebody also needs to talk to them and say, you are the senior pros. Somebody like a Ben Stokes, 140 odd in 7 innings is just not on.
This is not about, that's what I love about the discussions here. It's not just about the 11 that plays. It's also about where those 11 play, how you use them, where you send them, what their role is. And that's why we dissect everything and we lay it threadbare in front of you on our beautiful red table. At this point in time, there's only one piece of business that is left to tend to, which is to tell you the answer and the winner for the Joy Factor for today. It has stumped a lot of people. Dear sir, Professor Bhattacharya, the question that you asked us was...
The question that I asked was, which man of the match of an IPL final was one of his country's leading bowlers in an Under-19 World Cup, taking 7 wickets with an economy of less than 4? And I got a lot of guys. First 10 minutes, no correct answer.
He was not a bowler in the IPL. He was a wicket keeper.
He was a wicket keeper. And the answer is Manvinder Bisla. And he's probably, when people looked at that list, he's probably the first name they eliminated because ye to keeper hai, ye nahi ho sakta. Everyone tried Ben cutting in the beginning, but the fact of the matter is, he bowled in the 2002 World Cup, took 7 wickets at an economy rate of less than 4. He was one of the leading bowlers. Suddenly 2 years later he's keeping, and then you see him in the IPL.
This is why I call Joy Bhattacharya the googly from Hooghly. Every night he does this. We have a winner, the winner who successfully played this googly and hit it out of the park. Who is that winner? Rohit Yadav. Congratulations. Well, one Yadav did well today. Umesh Yadav, Surya Kumar Yadav not as much, but Rohit Yadav is above both of them. Crick Rohit. Naam ne Crick hai uske. Are you related to Cricbuzz? Are you? Anyway, you've won the prize. You've won our praise today. Praise is more important than prize. Remember that always. So, Rohit, congratulations to you. That's all we have time for. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Great game today. Thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you for all the tweets that you're sending in to us. Thank you for all the letters, the carrier pigeons, the money orders. We're appreciating all of them. I'd like to thank Zaheer Khan and Joy Bhattacharjya for joining us. I'm Gaurav Kapur on behalf of our entire Cricbuzz crew. It is good night. Ajit kahan hai?
Table ke niche.
Mil gaya. Bye.